Okay, reasons why religion and Christianity are basically a bit messed up at the moment. That's to do with political conflict as well as to do with history. There are some theologians today who say that Christianity has been too heavily influenced by the writings of Paul. But Paul was only of one particular sect of Judaism, and he's actually included a lot of the ideas in that particular sect of Judaism in his writings. Okay, he was a Pharisee, as it says in the book of Acts, chapter 22, I think it is, or 21 or 22, I can't remember. Now, the difference between the two groups, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, is quite marked. The Sadducees were pretty much an atheistic lot. They didn't believe in life after death, but they believed in hanging on to tradition and lore to the extreme. So imagine like the most orthodox Jewish people in the world with like the hairstyle, the beard, prayer shawl and everything else, doing everything by the book, okay, but they don't believe in life after death. Alright, that's what the Sadducees were basically like. They were like the ruling elites. To do a parallel with the Occupy movement, they would be like the 1%. Now, the Pharisees were more like the 99%, but they would actually believe in angels and spirits, okay? But now, Paul, being a Pharisee, his interest was partially to do with the reality, the apparent reality of angels and spirits. And that's why there's evidence in his writings that he's trying to convince not just people, but also the spirits around and about, which he believed were there, that, Jesus happens to be the Son of God, the rest of it, and anyone who follows and accepts Jesus is therefore one of the, the chosen or selected few. So this train of Christian thought, which is now permeated through Europe and America and Britain and Australia and basically all over the place, has been influenced very heavily by Pharisee thought. And of course Paul was writing in a time when there was basically a bit of a conflict between the two groups, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, as to which one was basically right. And it seems like at the moment we have a very strong Pharisee-based religion that we call Christianity these days. Because this Pharisean thinking has become so prevalent in society, it's allowed spiritualism, 19th century, 20th century spiritualism to develop, and as a direct result and a direct impact on the church and society, it's also found its way into fiction, and from there it's found its way into, guess what, the religion of Wicca, which is very spirit orientated, okay? So these like shamanic or spiritualistic aspects of Wicca is not necessarily being permitted because of some ancient pagan tradition, but by one particular Jewish sect whose meme has carried on through history into the present day. So the ideological battles that you're seeing these days is probably or possibly still a bit of a descendant of the ideological battle that happened over 2,000 years ago in the region which is Israel-Palestine.